I will be traveling tomorrow. I'm going to Vietnam, and there is a new requirement. Again, effective, I thought it was effective April 15th, and I think as of May 1, they will now discontinue using this departure card and such. That's what we're going to talk about. Stay with me. I think it was effective April 15 when this became when this took effect. But as of May 1, they are now discontinuing the use of departure cards. And what it is remember when you came over to the Philippines, you had to fill out within 3 days from your arrival time, or maybe your flight time, flight departure time. You're supposed to fill out this e-travel. Well, the new thing is they now require this e-travel also when you're departing the Philippines, not only when you're coming to the Philippines. And don't worry, it's not too bad. It's pretty good, actually. And I would certainly hope this will save us some time. Their motivation, I guess, is not to save time, but to get some more information, to control immigration and such, or not immigration, because when you're getting out, you're not immigrating to the Philippines. When you're going out, they want to make sure you will come back, because a lot of people go out of the country and never come back. They become like illegal immigrants of some kind. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about how to fill out the form because that's fairly common sense, so I'll leave it up for you to do that. But I want to point out certain things. A lot of the vloggers are talking about only Filipino citizens are required to do this. In fact, one vlogger said that he talked to Philippine immigration, and they said only Filipinos need to fill that out. For foreigners, you're not. But other vloggers don't mention anything about that. So it's around what is the truth? And I'm going to find out. But the first test is, because my wife is not a dual citizen, so she is an American citizen, I am going to fill out both. Me as a dual and her as an American citizen. By the way, there is no category called dual in this particular form, but I'm going to explain what this is all about. The first thing I did is filled out her own as a foreigner, because she's a U.S. citizen and she has U.S. documents. And it went through. So I assume foreigners too will be required to fill this thing out. Because from the very beginning, it will ask you, are you using a U.S. passport or are you using a Philippine passport? I don't recall if they say foreign passport or U.S. passport. Maybe it says foreign passport. Anyway, so I filled hers out on the basis of being an American citizen. The nice thing also is, one of the things that was mentioned in some of the blogs that I have seen is that they will ask you for your previous QR code, meaning when you came over to the Philippines. I said, that's a problem, because I threw mine away after entry, and after they already got my QR code at that time and I got into the Philippines, I threw mine away. But he or she said, but it's okay if you don't have it, just log on and register as a new for a new QR code. Okay, so that's what I did, and I was not even prompted to enter my old QR code. So that's a non-event after all. So that's fine. But this time I'm going to save my QR code, and the reason for that QR code, assuming they have it, okay, is that it will auto-populate. It will auto-populate all the questions being asked for some common things like your name, your date of birth, your passport number. All those will be auto-populated. No big deal. If you don't have the QR code, just fill out what is being asked for. So the other thing is, it used to be that Philippines will always want you to put a phone number, Philippine phone number. A lot of people do not have Philippine phone numbers when they arrive the country. Even if you are here frequently, usually your Globe, Smart, or whatever cell phone number you have expires. So what do? They put the phone number of the hotel, they put the phone number of their relative or whatever. But now, you can put a foreign phone number. So if your number is a US number, you select US and then put your US number, which is nice. So that's an improvement. They will ask you for your departure airline and flight number. They also ask you for a seat number or bed number on the plane, but it says, luckily it says optional, because I don't even have my seat number yet. And of course, when you arrive, you also need your destination address, so you make sure you have the address of your hotel and such. Now, I think that's all there is to it. Now, the other nice thing is once you're done with yours, if you're traveling with your spouse or with your children or whoever, it prompts you. Do you want to make another, to get another QR code? And you say yes, and guess what? The second time around, it auto-populates certain data, so you don't have to keep on entering, which is nice. So they made it a lot more friendly and easier to complete. Now, let's talk about what I used as a dual citizen. I said to myself, gee, should I register my US passport or should I register my Philippine passport? Here is one good news. Remember I said there is some benefit to being a Filipino citizen, and that means having a Philippine passport, and this is one of them. My wife had to get a visa for Vietnam. As a US citizen, you are required to get visa to go to Vietnam. But as a Filipino, I don't need a visa. So right there and then, I saved myself $79 to get, from getting a Vietnam pass or a Vietnam visa. So I saved myself that. So now here is the question. I said, should I register myself as a Filipino or as a US? You know what? I said, I don't care. I'm going to put my Philippine passport because I do not want to present a visa because I don't have one. No visa, Philippine passport. So that's what I registered. However, when I was filling the rest of the forms out, like my permanent address, I use my US address because I will be in the United States more frequently than I will be in the Philippines. Although I also have a Philippine address, permanent Philippine address, owning a condominium here, but I will be spending more time, relatively speaking, that is, more time in the US than in the Philippines. So I put my US address and I put my US phone number, which is nice. So I'm able to do that. So it's very user-friendly and very easy to, I was able to complete both my wife and my QR code in no time at all. So unlike before, I had no problem, my wife had a problem, coming here to the Philippines, but this time, it's improving. It's one of those growing pains, so they go through it, and in some ways I like it, because I don't really know what's involved with the so-called departure card when you leave the country. In some ways, that one is better because all you have to do is to fill out a paper form and you don't have to worry about registering within 3 days and no less than 3 hours before your flight. But it's just a matter of discipline. When you know that is the requirement, then you go ahead and comply with it. Now, the thing I don't know yet is when I come back from Vietnam, do I need to fill out, because when I came to the Philippines, back in February, depending on which terminal I go, whether I go to Terminal 1 or Terminal 3, I think Terminal 1, if I arrive in Terminal 1, they would require me to register on the so-called I Declare. I think it's called I Declare, where you declare how much money you're bringing in, if you are bringing in any food or anything like that. But when you go to Terminal 3, they said you don't need to do that. They will give you the old paper method of declaring what you're bringing in. Well, guess what? We came in and we did not even get that. We just went right ahead. I was looking for the form. There's no form. Nothing. So this time around, coming back, I will be going through, I think, Terminal 1, because it's Terminal 1. And because of that, I don't know if they will require me to do the I Declare. I'm going to check that out later, okay? But at least for now, we're ready, we're good to go. We're going to, we have our QR codes, and we'll see what happens at the airport. But I'm pretty sure things will go smoothly. Now, for some of those people who have been hearing about this offloading, I understand that the reason for the offload is, again, to control people. They say human trafficking, but I don't consider that human trafficking when you're leaving the country and never had any intention of coming back. So they asked you during the interview, well, I understand they're no longer asking you if you have a college or school diploma, school album or picture of some sort. I understand they're no longer asking that. And whoever was the agent who was asking that has been punished and has been removed from the immigration counter, okay? And I understand the purpose of the interview is to see if you have any intention of not coming back. For example, where are you going to stay? What are you going to do there for, let's say, 30 days or 60 days? So if I'm only going away for 4 days and I'm retired, and I'm old, that's a non-issue. But for younger ones, if they say, oh gee, because I will take care of babysitting my nephew or my niece or blah blah blah, that means most likely you will get paid, therefore you're going to be employed, or do you have the right visa? And that is the reason why they're offloading these people. That is my understanding. We're going to see. So that is the only information I have right now. Very important information nonetheless. And I will let you know after I get to Vietnam how things went at the airport. Thank you so much. Please do share this video with other people who may be going through the same process. Again, whether you're American or Filipino, make sure you go ahead and fill this thing out. Better to have something than nothing, because once you get there you're thinking it's not required and then you're required, then you have a problem. There could be some delays or worse yet, problem. So go ahead and fill it out. I fill it out for my wife, US citizen, no problem. So at least she has something to present. So please do share this with other people who may have similar interest. And I'll appreciate it if you click like on my channel and do subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Thank you so much and make it a great day. God bless.